It's performance review time, and we've gotten complaints about you constantly shooting plasma in the office, kind of destroying things, and we are going to restructure you. Restructuring is the best word. We don't need any more plasma. Let's change you up a little. Much better. All right, let's get you to work.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Magna Baron. Today we're magnetizing the Forgefiend for Warhammer 40,000. The Forgefiend, and its twin the Maulerfiend, is one of those kids that begs to be magnetized. Between different weapon configurations and evolving army lists, permanently gluing yourself into a single loadout just doesn't make sense anymore. Magnetizing your Forgefiend lets you swap weapons in seconds, experiment with different builds, and future-proof your model for new additions or balance updates. Now let's get to magnetizing our Forgefiend. In today's video, we are magnetizing alternative swaps for the Forgefiend and Maulerfiend heads, the Hades Autocannons and Ectoplasma cannons for the Forgefiend, the Forgefiend's secondary legs, the Maulerfiend Fist, and the Maulerfiend's Magma Cutter and Lasher Tendrils. As a reminder, you can find this kit linked in the description below. Before we get into the build, I want to quickly show you one of my favorite tools for magnetizing models, the Magnicator V2. If you've ever struggled with magnets flipping the wrong way or accidentally gluing one end backwards, this completely solves that problem. The Magnicator V2 lets you control polarity every single time. When your glue is cured, pull the slide to release the magnet. That slide breaks the magnetic force cleanly, so the magnet stays exactly where you put it. If you magnetize models, the Magnicator V2 becomes a part of your workflow. It saves time, parts, and saves a lot of frustration. Now let's get back to the build. These are the magnets for the Forgefiend Body. Let's begin with the body. I didn't glue the halves together because I want to put magnets inside the body to minimize the drilling I have to do. First, just behind the main arms, there's a flat space where we can glue a 12x3mm magnet. I'd scored the surface, scratched the magnet with my file, and glued it into place. Using some green stuff, I surrounded the magnet with it so it wouldn't come undone and have extra protection from being shaken around. Next, I drilled out the second hole where the Magma Cutter, Lasher Tendrils, and the legs for the Forgefiend are normally glued in. I used a 4mm drill bit to drill the hole and glued a 4x2mm magnet into it. The 4x2mm magnet should be installed flush with the exterior surface. I find it best to use my Magnicator to help push it from the inside and then push to flush it with the exterior. If you are using the Magnicator to push it from the inside, use the red end of your Magnicator. Use super glue to hold it in place and green stuff to strengthen it. The back legs can be glued in normally. Hold off on gluing the hoof feet to the back legs. It'll be easier for us later to adjust the Forgefiend. These are the magnets for the Forgefiend's heads. A fairly simple but fun task. With a 4mm drill bit, I drilled into the neck. Using the blue end of my Magnicator, I pushed a 4x2mm magnet into the hole of the neck we just drilled. For the heads, drill out the center of the inside of where the neck meets the head. Using the red end of our Magnicator, push a 4mm by 2mm magnet into each head. These are the magnets for the Forgefiend's ranged weapons. For this next part, I recommend not gluing the weapons together until we are done. To magnetize the Hades Autocannons and Ectoplasma cannons, drill into the concave spot with a 6mm drill bit. After it is drilled on the inside of the weapon, push to flush a 1/4 by 1/8 countersunk ring into the hole. Orient it so the recessed cup faces the ball bearing. Add glue and green stuff to secure it in place. These are the magnets and hardware for the Forgefiend's arms. For the arms of the Forgefiend, make sure to sand down both the ball joints before drilling, as your drill can go askew. For the side that connects to the main body, use a 4mm drill bit and drill at least 2mm deep, and glue a 4x2mm magnet inside using the red end of your Magnicator. Let's move on to the 6mm ball bearing. This will magnetize to the Hades Autocannon and Ectoplasma cannons. Make sure to file down the ball joint that connects to the Hades Autocannon and Ectoplasm cannons, and start with a 4mm drill bit and drill up to 6mm. Use a drill collar if you have one to not exceed 7mm of depth. To measure your drill collar, measure beneath the conical point the depth you want to go and tighten your collar with the Allen key. You can also use magnets to measure your depth. If you don't have a drill collar, you can use tape as a last resort. However, this can gum up your drill bit over time. After you have drilled out the ball joint, push and glue a 6mm ball bearing into the hole. To finish off the arms, we are going to magnetize where the shoulder pad will connect. Using some green stuff, we will fill the void of the arm and push a 3x1mm magnet using the blue end of our Magnicator into the green stuff. These are the magnets for the Forgefiend's shoulder plates. Now let's complete the shoulder pads. 2 bumps underneath the shoulder pad normally align the piece to be glued to the arms. We will drill the large bump with a 3mm drill bit and insert a 3x1mm magnet into it using the red end of our Magnicator. Apply some Vaseline to the shoulder plates and green stuff so they won't cure to each other. The magnets will naturally grab each other and pull the green stuff together. If you properly push them together and push the part where you want it, they will always be flush. Wipe away the Vaseline with a dry towel or clean it with soap and water. These are the magnets for the Forgefiend's secondary legs. The secondary legs of the Forgefiend are going to have a ball joint that connects to the body filed down and drilled with a 4mm drill bit. Insert a 4x2mm magnet into the hole using the red end of your Magnicator. At this step, I recommend not gluing pieces 53 and 54 onto the back legs yet. Save this for the end to better align it with the base. These are the magnets for the Maulerfiend Fists. To magnetize a fist, file down the bump that connects to the body so our drill doesn't go askew. After drilling, use the red end of your Magnicator and insert a 4x2mm magnet into the hole. On the shoulder, drill a 3mm hole that is at least 1mm deep into the biggest divot. This will align with the shoulder pad magnet. Using the blue end of your Magnicator to insert the 3x1 magnet into the hole. These are the magnets for the Maulerfiend's Magma Cutter and Lasher Tendrils. Finally, file the ball joint that connects the Magma Cutters to the body and drill a 4mm hole into it. Insert a 4mm by 2mm magnet using the red end of your Magnicator. Make sure your magnet is flush with the edge to ensure a proper fit. For the Lasher Tendrils, cut off the peg and file down the ball joint that connects to the body. Drill a 4mm hole and insert a 4mm by 2mm magnet into the hole using the red end of your Magnicator. For the final assembly, I found it best to glue the back legs on first, making sure the body will go as high as it can, then gluing the hoofed feet, pieces 43 and 47, onto the legs. Have your base nearby to adjust and hold the model so the feet of the model can make full contact with the base. Put on the Forgefiend secondary arms and glue pieces 53 and 54 to their respective arm, 53 to the right and 54 to the left, and adjust the hands as needed.